Okay guys, I just got another product in from Amazon. It's the Dorman battery tie down. Now if you ever bought a used XJ, chances are it had a bungee cord that ran across the top. I just took the bungee cord off, and I just realized that in order to do this, I'm going to have to remove the battery, pull out the entire battery tray, and get this going. So the product we're talking about today is just a basic battery hold down. And if you own a Jeep, you got to realize that everything is a little crooked and everything is a little different. It comes with two of these 13mm nuts, and these are the actual hold downs. But with the battery installed, you cannot install these. So I have to remove the battery and put these in from the bottom and then reinstall the battery tray and yada, yada, yada. So let's see how it goes. Okay, right now what I have for tools, I got a basic flathead screwdriver. I got a 13mm socket. That's going to be what is going to loosen up these. I already loosened these up just a little bit. So hopefully I should be able to just disconnect the battery like so. And I use a flathead screwdriver sometimes just to hopefully try to pry this up. Just wiggle it a little bit on both sides. Eventually it will come off. Now once you get the battery out, you just pull this out because there was nothing holding it in the first freaking place. Genius people, I don't understand. 20 bucks, you can fix this yourself. There's my cat. So the next thing we're going to need is a little bit of PB blaster, because every time you take a battery out, you get these 3 15mm nuts down here, and you're going to want to put some lube on them. So every time these become available, just be sure to lube them up. And I'm just about out of, gonna have to go find some extra lube for that one there. Junk. This is why it's important to have extra lube cans on hand. And this here is just a little bit of WD-40 with silicone. We're gonna spray that up. And then the next tool we're gonna need is a ratchet with the long extension and a 15mm socket on the end to get these off. Now once these are off, you can lift out the battery tray, and then you can actually install your parts. Keep in mind there will be a wire down here on the bottom. I still don't know what that wire is for, but it's there. We're going to come over here, we're going to grab all our little nuts and bolts and brackets and stuff. And yeah, stop running away from me stuff. When this bracket's installed, it's going to look something like that right on top of the battery. And then these are just basic hold downs that are going to go inside into your battery tray. So I'm going to need 2 hands for this, so I'm going to have to put you guys down, and then we'll have to get everything else going. So you have to take your little brackets right here and slide them up through the bottom of these. Just like so. And then you got to do the same on the other side. And then hope your pieces don't frick off. Now the only guaranteed way to keep it from completely going away is just put one on there, put a nut on there, just a little bit. Now we're going to slide the other one in on the other side, and hopefully they don't run off too far. So when these are installed correctly, they're actually going to be facing towards the side like this. You don't want them, come out. You don't want them facing like this. So you're going to want them just like that when they're sitting in the bracket. But like I said before, if you don't want these completely falling out, just put one of these bolts in there, and then just carefully drop this back in and set it right back on top of the bolts. Keep in mind there's other wires and stuff down here. You're not going to want to disturb them too much or lose those. Now we're just going to get all these nuts started. We're going to grab our socket extension, and we're just going to start hand tightening these until we get them somewhat snug, and then we're going to tighten them down with the ratcheting wrench. Okay, now once that's all tightened down just like that, we're just going to get our battery and we're going to set it right back in the hole. going to grab our bracket and we're going to set it down on top of the battery about where we're going to want it to go. And we're going to start feeding these through on either side. That is a tight fit. Wow. Extremely tight fit. That's barely enough to get a couple threads on there. Hopefully the other side's going to reach. Yeah, I'm going to have to reach my hands down around by the fan. That's a great time to take the keys out of your pocket because I have an auto start. If this thing should just magically start up, you don't want that to happen. Battery's disconnected, but still, it's better be safe than sorry. All right, come here, you. There. So I got my hand like all the way down underneath the bracket, so that should be enough for me to get a couple threads started. And that way this thing just won't disappear and take off. Now I'm just trying to center this up the best I can. And we're just going to take our wrench and we're going to start tightening this down. Now that's how everything's supposed to look. Now this is also a good time that if you have any battery type lubricant, you can put that on right now before you slide your battery terminals back on. I dug all through my toolbox trying to find this stupid little thing and it wasn't in there. It was in the back of my Jeep in my tool bag. Put these back on and make sure they're securely mounted. Well, something I've done in the past to try to get these battery terminals on is just grab a socket, something that's a little bit bigger than the terminal itself, and then you just give it a couple love taps. And we just take our 13mm socket and we tighten her back down. That right there is exactly how it's supposed to look when everything's all said and done. Just make sure you get all your tools out of the engine bay before you start your motor and double check your work. Oh, there's my other cat. There we go, everything's working like it should. Very nice. So that's how you install that Dorman battery hold down thing. It didn't take long and it's really something inexpensive that everybody should probably do. I mean, especially if you got a bungee cord and you plan on taking a Jeep off-road. If that battery pops out and hits that hood, yeah, you're gonna have a fire under your hood. That's a lot of fun when you got a Jeep on its side. So definitely mount your batteries down. Okay guys, if you're interested in this product, I'll be sure to leave an affiliate link down in the comment section and in the description section in case that might help one of you complete this project here. But this is a super simple project, didn't cost me a whole lot of money. I use very simple tools and yeah, it's just simple stuff. For the love of Jeeps.